Abstract Love Elevation. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. Like I've been making music forever, and it's coming into fruition now. So y'all gotta stay tuned. It's going down. Yeah, I went to South Springs. My mom was working there. It was cool, man. But then I came back to South Falls, linked with my niggas, and
So
on
you
from
found
there.
yourself.
Yeah, I pretty much found myself, pretty much.
Came with the J's.
Grew into my own.
Yeah.
I ain't had J's. I had the clear J's.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to say clear J's.
It don't matter. I
You
can
know
do
what I'm
it.
talking about. Nobody had them J's.
I had the T-Max. And
Recorded booth.
my brother Tony, man. Fuck with him, it's a fucking problem. That's all I'm gonna say. It's family, it's just came from the ground up with it. You know what I'm saying? We've been on this music shit for real. Like,
It's been a journey.
on the fucking journey. Remember back in the day we used to freestyle in the garage and shit?
Bro, videos, make tracks, just record off them and shit.
Smoking.
It's always a starter point.
You got the right.
Refine the skills.
Got you.
But it was funny because it seemed like, the best bars only came when we was either high, drunk, both, or rolling.
That's when all the bars come
We
out.
were rolling. Like, we feel like we in the booth right there.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Remember when I made that makeshift booth with with the cardboard box, and I got the.
Like I always been in love with music ever since I was like 9, and started out jamming like 104 KRBE because my mom, she used to trip on the rap music, but when I started listening to rap, it was like Swisher House, SUC, then I started listening to like Devin the Dude, and he started with like the harmonic melodies and stuff, and that like influenced me. It's like, you could be on some cool shit, but you can make it eclectic and make it your own.
That's what music is.
And that's always been my goal, just to, pave my own lane and show people that they can do that and, not be afraid just to be who they are, you know what I'm saying?
So who you feel you trying to reach with your voice?
I want to reach everybody. I want to reach everybody with my voice. I know it's like, it's a different sound. Like I grew up, when I first started listening to music, SUC, Swisher House, and then I started listening to like Outkast and like Andre 3K. That's like one of my favorite rappers, you know what I'm saying? Because he used to be on that, he used to spit like fire, hot fire, but then he started doing his own shit, like weird shit, Or what people say is weird, yeah. Like weird is dope, like, you know what I'm saying? Paved the whole lane. Yeah, they jam.
And that's what we figuring out these days, that shit, like, a lot of different things jam, you know what I mean? Like, regardless if it's this side or that side, this style or that style, this genre, that genre, like, the shit hit.
We've been on that, different type of shit,
Like, you already know that.
So how do you feel about just getting into the creative lanes, but also working a 9 to 5? Like, how do you, like, what are the difficulties with that?
Man, it's hard, but it's all about prioritizing. If you want to do something, you're gonna do it. You gotta push through the grind. Like, you gotta make it happen, because everybody comes from some type of struggle. And working a 9 to 5 ain't no easy thing. But
You gotta eat.
I got 3 kids. You gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Till this rap shit blow, or music, media, entertainment, any of that. Like, but we was destined for this shit. Like, that's how I feel, because we always been like them type of niggas that been on that. Remember when we did that YouTube shit back in the day? And people was fucking with it too.
So they deleted half my videos.
Oh, I know that fucked you up. The fucked up part about it, like, right now, you got a lot of youths that jump on YouTube, but they got the advantage. Like, what a lot of people don't understand is, if you in college with a whole bunch of young motherfuckers that from a whole bunch of different places, your advantage is out there. You know what I'm saying? So the if you got some hustle, it ain't nothing for you to come up on some.
Cause it be some trash people out there. They got the hustle and that was consistent with it.
What's interesting is that like our freshman year at college was the experimental year of Facebook.
Yeah.
So you needed a Facebook college email address to even have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're not connected with no other people except motherfuckers in your college.
Yeah.
So you was able to connect with everybody on campus. You're a freshman walking in there, boom, the second you take step, you got 6, 7, 8,000 motherfuckers you connecting with.
You got fans and shit.
You know, like what
people
the
that
fuck
know you that you don't even know. You be like, damn.
Bro, I started a fucking a second page for my page for just fucking bitches that were already selling their ass for free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was crazy because my homegirl, the one that really organized it for me, I just threw the idea out there, but she already knew the hoes and knew the females and stuff like that. And she was like the fucking house mom of that shit. And that shit, I don't got no college debt right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I came there to hoop. And after, I eventually got hurt, but shit, I definitely had fun, do some Project X type.
Like, we was the start of that media shit, I think, like, with MySpace and shit, like, we started.
Oh, yeah, MySpace,
like, our age,
Black Planet.
the turn up, all that shit, bro.
Bro, you remember Zanga?
Yeah, I do.
Like, all this shit, Bocos made Zanga, like, all this shit was before, like, we was the
Tinder shit, yeah.
AIM was text messaging before text messages. Like, if you had AIM, ALL, instant messenger, you over there getting your text game right before it even came.
But we knew even back then, it was like, we used to get feedback, girls used to hit us up, we hit girls up and shit. Like, yeah, but shit, back then, that just showed the power of social media. You meet a girl, back in the day, we couldn't meet girls from the other side of town unless we just met up with them.
Dave Chappelle called this shit early. Like, I remember he had a skit where, you going through females like the fucking grocery store. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. Like, and now you actually got that with these apps. You just swipe left, swipe right. Nah, I'm lactose intolerant. You know what I'm saying? I like this in my shit.
It's your girl who smoke and drink and all that shit.
But what do you feel, what do you think would be your first level of saying, okay, this shit is what I'm gonna do?
Well, first of all, like, let everybody know, what took you so long to really just get activated.
That's a good question.
Yeah, like
why this?
Like
why
your
now?
ups, downs, like, did you have any? Man, I'm finna rap, then you stop. Then I'm finna rap, then you stop. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? The first time I knew, I wanted to do it, I was standing on the north side. And there was this dude, his name was De Niro, but he was like plugged in with like a lot of people, like in New Orleans, like Mac 10, and people in Cali, like it was crazy. But he made me want to start rapping because I went in the booth with him and shit. I had wrote a verse just straight off the whim, it's basically like a freestyle, but they was feeling that shit so hard, and then I started doing like performances with him because he had like connections with like the performers, like people that could put you on stage and stuff, and shit, I started performing for the crowd, and it was just like a rush of adrenaline, you know what I'm saying? And then when you start seeing people that you don't even know bobbing their head to your music, it's crazy. So I knew, I used to see that, and I'd be like, damn, I wonder how that feels, but when you feel that, it's kind of like an inspiration, and you see people rocking to it. Now, people just there like, they're not fucking with it, then they ain't fucking with it. But people always fuck with my shit, like, and I just knew, like, I always been a writer, and put the two together, rap and rhyme, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just.
What about the in between, the then and now? Like, what's been going on?
After that, I started recording, and then, out of the blue, it was a surprise but a blessing. I had a kid, my firstborn, Byron III, and, I just, it made me just kind of deter from rap because I had to focus more on my little one, and you know that was my main focus. And but I look in his eyes and I see him listening to my shit, and you know I realize, you know, even he likes it, and it's crazy. Like, you know, you could go so far with it, and you could really make money. If I could provide for my family with something I love, and that's what I want to do. And you know, then I had another kid. You know, I had kids back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Boom bam.
Boom bam. But
did another one.
Another one.
Double up.
Here comes another one.
And you know, it just threw me off. But I had to really put my priorities together. You know, as far as that goes. But I realized, you know, you can't working dead end jobs. You know, that ain't for me. That ain't for us. Like working for a white man forever. You know, that's not something we want to do. That's not gonna make you happy. You know.
Okay, so what made you get on that for serious right now? What was the turn of the tide? What made you like forget this? Like, no matter if I make it or not, I'm gonna go out and do my passion. I'm really do it. I'm gonna give it out. I'm gonna give it all.
Shit, I was working at Gordon. With you, man. There was this dude named Jose. He used to be like, he's like an old dude, but he's real cool, you know what I'm saying? He was really on that hip hop shit, and I let him hear some of my tracks, cause I was like scared to let people hear my shit. Like, damn, I wonder if people gonna fuck with it. But he was fucking with it hard, and I started letting other people hear it, and they started fucking with it hard. This was after I stopped, you know, rapping cause of my kids and stuff, but, you know, then I met you, bro, and then shit, that just sparked me to want to do more. We did that first shoot, my first track, you know what I'm saying, when I went to Kalani's studio. I saw myself, I'm like, damn, that's me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could really make it go somewhere with it.
Came real at that point.
Yeah, it came super real.
I feel what you're saying. Definitely been a journey out here. You know? Like, I've always had my ambitions. There's like different moments in time that kind of like leading up to like right now, as far as like what you're trying to push and what's in place and stuff. Cause I know outside of fear, which has been definitely a major factor as far as what you're trying to do, as far as passions go, you know what I mean? Because of what you gotta do, because of what life tells you, you know what I'm saying, at that moment. And shit, like I remember as a little nigga, I've always been an R&B type motherfucker, right? And we had somebody living with us that we was helping out that had connections. So I met a motherfucker, you know, my cousin with troop and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like I always wanted to be a little singing motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? R&B ass niggas. So I was taking singing lessons and doing this and that, and you know, I enjoyed it, but I realized I wasn't the best at it. But I was decent, you know. I had a decent, but I was still, my voice was cracking at that time. You know, you going through that puberty stage and stuff. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn how to play the piano.
Yeah, your voice changed.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I always wrote, like you said earlier, you know, like writing and shit. Like, remember, I was selling fucking poems in middle school and shit, slid them with motherfuckers' lockers and shit like that.
We used to have the freestyles back at lunch, remember? Yeah, and I used to always beatbox. Like, I would always be the one doing the beats, and I would freestyle and shit. But that shit was fun, man. I think that's really where my passion for rap just started, bro. Like, freestyling in the middle school lunchroom, like, gathering around people. I remember I had freestyled this nigga named Gerard. Remember? Jay Black. Shout out to Jay Black. He's doing his music thing for real.
Singing out there and shit.
But yeah, man, he was like one of the coldest freestyles. He used to come with that Fat Pat type. I feel like people look at people that's from Cyprus and they be like, damn, this nigga stuck up or whatever the case may be. Yeah. It's the same types of struggles, just in a different area, you know?
It's how the South look at the North, especially Northwest. But like, if you ain't from like Southside Houston, you ain't about that shit. I was like, bro, I fuck with all y'all. Like, I got homies from the South Side, East Side, North Side, West Side. Like,
especially North Side.
You know, shit. Cypress is where.
All of Houston, man.
What's that?
We about to take Houston over, bro. Like, it's no fucking game. So I'm serious.
Real talk, man.
I'm excited. Then we got the youngins with us.
Houston's a stomping ground right now, bro. It's a hub. Granted, we got a lot of bullshit going on right now, but it just makes the journey more worth it. At the end of the day.
People gonna know about Cypress, you know.
Oh yeah.
When people ask me, I'll be like, I'm from Houston. They be like, what part? I'm from Cypress, bro. Like, you gotta put on something to say. People, somebody gonna gravitate toward it, and you can reach people, you know. Like, people be like, damn, that verse was hard, you know what I'm saying? That shit had me motivated. So that's the type of shit that make me want to do music. You're not accepted by the white kids, but at the
You get
same
all
time,
the different looks from different people and shit.
you're not
teachers
accepted by the black kids either, like, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a weird
So
line.
what you saying is,
Like
it's fucked
teacher
because
teaches
inside of school, like you get rejected, but then because maybe
In the real
by the
world.
time you in middle school, because you talk a little different, you talk proper, people might be looking at you like,
Look at me, hella different, man.
We wasn't with that fake false claim and shit. Like, niggas be like, they from SWAT. Hey, we like, nigga, no, you not. Y'all some nerds, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with you.
Your facts.
You was down the street, like.
Y'all went camping every week.
YMCA and shit, like.
Oh, fucking like shit.
Nah, we gotta keep it real, man. I think people gonna see that too off top. Like, it's time, bro. Like, I don't know, it's just fucking time. That's always the reason, like, I didn't want to drop nothing, because I was like, damn, you know, it sound different. I don't know if people gonna accept it, but, like, the more you get into life, you realize people like things that's real, you know, like, from the heart with it.
now how far held back do you think you are by not putting your stuff out there?
All the way, I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you're not putting nothing out, you ain't gonna get no type of anything from that. Solid plan, like, come up with like a solid plan and like a well thought out plan, and then just like execute, like work on it every day. You know, you just gotta make it happen, really. Like, you gotta do it and not just say it. Cause I feel like, you know, you can get people riled up and tell them you're gonna do shit, but if you don't ever do it, then that's gonna put you down. Cause
And it's gonna make the other person look
They
like,
not-
he
yeah.
bullshit. He
Yeah.
been saying that shit for the last.
ain't nobody gonna rock with it.
That's all he always saying.
And that's kind of what we did in a way, but you know, we still got the opportunity to make it happen, cause, you know, I feel like we can make the imagery happen with that. Like, it's like, I feel like, you know, it's not a time limit, but it's time to start doing shit now. You know, I think this is the perfect time, cause I got that mindset now. You know, like, when I was younger, I ain't had that mindset.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's your saying that you always say? Abstract mind.
Yeah, super abstract mind elevation. You know?
What does that mean?
I mean, it's basically, I feel like every soul is different, but, you know, so in a way we are abstract because we are different people, but not confining to what society necessarily says, like going with society, but giving them something they could feel, you know, but not confining to what, like, the rap is now, or like Migos flow, or whatever the case may be. Doing what you know is true to you, and like, you do that with your mental, and then you just keep elevating to different levels and layers of life, you know.
No, when you say elevate, what do you mean by elevate?
Like, gradually going up, like
Maturing or
progression, you know, accomplishing goals. Like, that's what elevation is. Like, things that really matter, and that you're achieving, like goals you're achieving. That's what elevating is to me.
Okay.
And like, with this first project, you know, what I want to do is mostly talk about like the mental and like the love aspect of it, but it's just gonna be a whole thing. 'Cause I'm a lover boy, you know. But
I ain't mad.
that's how, you know, that shit, people fuck with that shit. So
Yeah, man.
be singing and shit I ain't want to do back in the day. I was scared to do.
I'm
But
saying. Yeah.
So what you saying? You just you really just want to be the true you. You ain't worried about being a facade.
Nah, cause that's how like people like Kid Cudi, you know, Lupe came up. You know, that was hip hop, but Lupe was like a gamer skater type dude. Kid Cudi was on that rock shit, but he got in with the rap people. And people like that, you know, just inspire me. Like I'm like, damn, these are kind of like people like me, you know. So that inspires me. Like I know I can make music that touches everybody. You know.
What about people like Tory Lanez?
Yeah, I mean.
Is that like kind of different music for you that you would like to tap into something like that?
Oh yeah, I've been fucking with Tory Lanez, but like what he does now, I don't fuck with as much. But yeah, like that's a definite type of lane, like the R&B rap flow, you know, and having content with it, you know, and being able to spit and do harmony. That's a good look. Like that's the lane I'm on, but. I think that'll put on, you know, from where I'm from too, because you know it's just that's what it's abstract, you know, it's different, you know, it's eclectic, it's just a different type of feel, and like we can incorporate that into Houston and you know show our side of it, our side of the story, and I know people gonna jam it, and that's what motivates a nigga.
Okay.